Indian enterprises are entering a defining phase in their AI journey, where ambition is translating into enterprise wide execution. The momentum we are seeing reflects a strategic shift from experimentation to embedding AI into the fabric of how organizations create value and compete. The next chapter will be shaped less by access to technology and more by the ability to build institutional capabilities and new ways of working. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Analytics Inside podcast, where we talk about the ever evolving tech space. And I'm your host, Priya Dayalani. Now, Deloitte predicts that generative AI usage will expand significantly in 2026 as more mainstream applications embed AI capabilities directly into their everyday digital experiences. AI engagement among both consumers and professionals. Additionally, the industry also suggests that as many as 93% of Indian enterprises believe AI investments will yield them desired results within 3 years, indicating a strong belief in the impact of AI and business. Let's welcome Vikash Sharma, CEO of Sparx IT, to talk how enterprise AI and digital transformation is changing the Indian landscape. Hi, Vikash. Welcome to our podcast.
Thanks, and thanks for having me here.
Likewise, Avikash, it's a pleasure to have you on our podcast today. And of course, when we talk about the Indian landscape, we have been seeing a lot of revolutionary transformations, especially in the business landscape with the integration of AI technologies. And, we'll be discussing about that more in detail today. But, let's start by telling our listeners more about Sparks IT, its specialization, and along with that, we would also like to know more about you, Vikash, your journey till date, and what exactly is your role at the company today.
Sure, I think that's the perfect way to start this.
Yes.
So, Sparks IT is a Noida based tech powerhouse with almost 18 years of excellence in custom software, AI, and business intelligence solutions. We have been empowering global clients, like we have 1,500 plus global clients at present, from startups to Fortune 500. And like we are building a lot of custom solutions for them. And we have products like in house products. These are some of our flagship products. One of the product is Proactive AI, which is platform which delivers real-time analytics powered by AI. And another product we have is SPX Commerce. This is an enterprise e-commerce solution. And another product we have is by the name What's Your A. It's a productivity and project management tool that helps enterprise manage their daily communication and project management. So this is in nutshell what Sparks IT is and what we are solving or how we are helping the businesses. As CEO and founder, I lead our AI product strategy, driving innovations in predictive analytics and workflow automation. My contribution include spearheading all our product development and growing our team to deliver AI first solutions to our customers. It's been a journey of blending Indian ingenuity with global standards to help businesses thrive in the AI era. That's what it is.
Great. Thank you so much for that overview, Vikash. And it clearly highlights your contributions and as well as Sparks IT's contribution in terms of accelerating enterprise AI and digital transformation for Indian businesses. But, initially I mentioned about a report as to how in Indian organizations believe that AI will help them gain measurable impact. However, the pace of adoption is running ahead of depth in capability building. Now, when it comes to high level of AI expertise, Indian organizations ranked lower than their global counterparts, with Indian companies at 0 to 4% compared to a global average of 2 to 8%, demonstrating a near term imperative to strengthen specialist AI expertise skills as adoption scales. Now, even as expertise catches up, investment intent remains strong. The same report also shows that 94% of Indian organizations expect AI spend to increase over the next year, reflecting sustained commitment to scaling AI initiatives and expanding deployment across the enterprise. So, India is often described as being at an inflection point for enterprise AI adoption. What structural factors you think make this moment different from the previous digital transformation waves?
Okay, so this moment truly feels different for India's enterprise AI adoption. Unlike previous digital transformation waves, which often focused on digitizing existing processes or adopting off the shelf software, we now have several unique structural factors at play. So, firstly, the sheer scale of digital public infrastructure in India, think like Aadhaar, UPI, and the ONDC has created an unparalleled data richness and a digital first mindset among both consumer and businesses. And this provides a fertile ground for AI to thrive on massive real time data sets, and which is very, very important for AI. Now, secondly, the exponential growth in computational power coupled with increasingly accessible cloud infrastructure means that sophisticated AI models, the LLMs, are no longer the exclusive domain of tech giants like OpenAI or Claude. Even mid sized enterprises can now affordably experiment and deploy powerful AI. And third, India's vast talent pool in engineering and data science is maturing rapidly. We have seen a lot of universities already offering these courses. There are alternative education centers which are offering these courses, and people are being trained on these skills. We have a generation of professionals who are not just users but builders of AI, and that is the different. This indigenous capability means we can customize and innovate AI solutions tailored to unique Indian context rather than merely importing global solutions. And finally, the urgency driven by global competition, which you just mentioned, Indian businesses recognize that AI is not just an efficiency tool, it's a fundamental competitive differentiator that can unlock new market and business models.
Definitely, Vikash. And I think that was a very insightful perspective how the entire Indian landscape is adopting to enterprise AI adoption. Of course, there are certain hurdles and challenges that come across in terms of a wide scale adoption, but with the certain competitive advantages, like you mentioned, in terms of the diverse pool and how institutions and other policymakers are also accelerating AI adoption in India, highlights how the entire country is going towards that systematic shift. Moving ahead, I mean, human effort has traditionally driven the adoption of technology services. Programmers coding algorithms and business logic is then converted into executable programs. Then you have, data analysts managing data and consultants optimizing enterprise workflows. However, with the advent of AI, a fundamental shift is already being witnessed. Human led services are now becoming AI led software. So instead of hiring large teams of human specialists, businesses will increasingly incorporate AI powered tools and platforms that automate complex tasks which were once thought, very impossible to automation and digitization. Many organizations have definitely, completed their digital transformation journey over the past decade. What fundamentally changes when this transformation becomes AI led instead of software led?
This is definitely a very practical and a good question. So, when transformation shifts from being purely software led, that what we all have been doing in digital transformation, to AI led, the fundamental change is a move from automation of known processes to intelligent augmentation and discovery. And software led transformation was largely about digitizing existing manual processes and streamlining operations and improving efficiency through standardized applications. It was about making things faster and more accessible within predefined rules. However, AI led transformation is about enabling systems to learn, adapt, predict, and even generate insights autonomously. And that is what one of our product Proactive AI is about. It's about moving beyond simply automating a workflow which is defined with set of rules to making that workflow smarter, more personalized, predictive, and intelligent. For instead of just using CRM software to track customer interactions, AI led transformation means the system can predict customer churn, recommend personalized actions, or even generate tailored marketing content, it changes the very nature of decision making. AI can surface patterns and correlations in data that humans might miss, offering truly novel insights and enabling proactive strategies. It's a shift from how can we do this better with software to what new possibilities can AI unlock that we have not even conceived yet.
Definitely, Vikash. And I think the predictive capabilities of AI is what makes it different from a software led transformation. And again, the core power of AI is such that what new opportunities we can unlock with AI that can eventually help in, improving the overall efficiency or having a measurable impact that we can measure eventually. And I think with AI's rapid evolution, it's the traditional IT structures and mandates are something that are losing its importance today. 78% of tech leaders expect to integrate AI agents into architecture workflows within the next 5 years. So I think the need for transformation has become increasingly urgent. This is not just a tools upgrade. I believe it is more about a fundamental re-engineering of the entire team structure or leadership and even governance to empower a more faster AI driven operations. And AI is enabling what we can think of as an autonomous teams, like you just mentioned, that teams where deep functional expertise is not required in every single area because AI can help bridge gaps and extend capabilities. So do you think that this AI transformation is more about re-architecting workflows rather than just deploying models?
Uh, well, it's far more about re-architecting workflows than just deploying models. Deploying a model is often the simplest part of an AI transformation. It's just the API thing that you add and some orchestration and it's done. The real challenge and where the true value lies is in the fundamentally rethinking how work gets done. An AI model, no matter how sophisticated, is only as impactful as its integration into the operational fabric of an organization. This requires a deep understanding of existing workflows, identifying bottlenecks, and then designing new AI augmented processes. It means asking where can AI truly enhance human capabilities, or how can AI eliminate mundane tasks so humans can focus on strategic thinking and creativity. So this re-architecting involves everything from data ingestion and preparation to human in the loop validation to how decisions are made and actions are taken based on AI insights. Without this holistic workflow redesign, AI models often end up as isolated proof of concept, failing to deliver enterprise wide value. And it's about optimizing the entire human AI collaboration loop. It's not just the deploying models. And that is the challenge with these AI led transformation, is that people are just thinking from the very high level and they are deploying the models, and that's why some of the enterprises fails to take the advantage of what truly it can like bring value to their businesses. So this is how it should be re-architected rather than just deploying the models.
Yes, very well said, Vikash. And I think that's kind of one of the bottleneck that we are facing in terms of large scale AI deployment. Because I was just reading across this study, one study which shows that, developers are somehow also refusing to work with AI tools. And because of that, it's very difficult to measure the AI's impact on the productivity of experienced developers. And, what you said in terms of the failure that you mentioned, my next question is somehow related to what you said. The failure pattern that we are seeing is consistent, regardless of your industry or company size. The organization decides to, let's do an AI, and leadership approves the budget. A team is selected, which is working on a particular use case. They pick up a vendor or build with an API, and they deploy their AI models. But nothing moves, no metric improves, the pilot model just sits there. The reason is almost always the same, that the AI was deployed on top of data that was not ready to support it. So are enterprises, investing enough in data engineering and knowledge architecture, or they are just jumping directly to AI applications?
So to be frank, many enterprises are still in danger of jumping directly to AI application without sufficient foundational investment in data engineering and knowledge architecture. So that is what I mentioned in my last answer as well, that there have been enterprises who failed. They have had adoptions, they did the AI integrations, but they failed because they have just thought that deploying would make the impact, but that is not the case. There is an understandable excitement around the immediate perceived benefits of AI, especially with the rapid advancements in generative AI. However, without a robust data foundation, these AI applications often hit a wall. Data engineering is the backbone of any successful AI initiative. It's about building reliable, scalable pipeline to collect, clean, transform, and store data. So, knowledge architecture, on the other hand, is about structuring that data and metadata in a way that makes it easily discoverable, understandable, and usable by AI models. It's about creating a single source of truth and semantic layers. And when anybody look at our product, that is what proactive AI is. So when we connect, so proactive AI is a data intelligence or business intelligence tool. So it is not just that it connects with anyone's data. We have AI model who first understand the data layer, because the data at the enterprise end is not structured. It is in very bad shape. And so any AI model or LM cannot understand the data the way they have it. So one need to first structure it, then only they can understand, then only they can provide those impact. So neglecting these foundational layers lead to garbage in, garbage out scenarios. Models that are difficult to maintain, scale, or explain, or ultimately a lack of trust in AI outputs that makes those AI adoption fail. So smart enterprises understand that investing in data engineering and knowledge architecture upfront is not a cost. It's a critical enabler for sustainable and impactful AI transformation.
So, as you know, the adoption expands, execution frictions, always remain real, especially when regulated environments and organizational change intersect. One report finds that regulatory and compliance requirements are the top AI integration challenges, followed by resistance to change. And at the same time, organizations report relatively lower pressure from cost and infrastructure constraints, indicating that governance, readiness, and operating model change are the most immediate limiting factors for scale. How should Indian enterprises, according to you, should think about data privacy, security, and AI governance regulations, ensuring that when we are scaling AI, it should be a responsible AI scale and along with innovation?
Okay, so I think that's one of the very important question that everyone in India especially should talk about. So for Indian enterprises, thinking about data sovereignty, privacy regulations, and responsible AI is not just a compliance exercise. It's a strategic imperative for long-term trust and global competitiveness. That's very important. On data sovereignty, given India's unique geopolitical position and regulatory landscape, enterprises must prioritize keeping critical data within national borders where mandated, and understanding the implications of cross-border data flows. This often means investing in local cloud infrastructure or robust data residency solutions. Regarding privacy regulations, with the impending Digital Personal Data Protection Act, that is DPDP Act, and the global standards like GDPR, Indian businesses must embed privacy by design into their AI systems from the outset. This means transparent data collection, explicit consent mechanisms, anonymization techniques, and robust data security. It's about respecting the individual's right to their data. And for responsible AI, this is paramount. It involves addressing bias in algorithms, ensuring fairness, transparency, and explainability in AI decisions, and establishing clear accountability framework. As AI scales, its potential societal impact grows. So ethical considerations such as avoiding discriminatory outcomes or ensuring human oversight must be baked into the development life cycle. This is not just about avoiding penalties, because people mostly talk about that. It's about building customer trust and maintaining a social license to operate.
Definitely, Vikash. And whether it's India or even if we compare to the global counterparts, I think having responsible AI adoption or even explainable AI I think that's very crucial in terms of ensuring that we are following a proper framework and ensuring that the governance is in place so that we can ensure that we can trust our AI models. Because eventually, I think everything boils down to trust. Many people and even leaders question that when machines are being deployed, are we at a state where we can trust what the machines are giving us, or the outputs can be trusted? And I think this will become clear when, of course, we have regulations like GDPR, and with India coming up with the DPDP Act, everything we are trying to streamline AI adoption and ensuring that we are marching towards a more responsible AI adoption. Great. And when we talk about India, I think India stands at a unique inflection point in the global tech landscape. In 2026, particularly, the conversation has shifted from the mere potential of AI to more of its practical and agentic AI execution. The country has one of the world's largest developer workforces and a proven history of digital leapfrogging. We have previously seen that in the UPI and digital payments revolution. So, do you think can India leapfrog legacy enterprise models by becoming AI first rather than software first?
Yes, 100%. India has a unique opportunity to leapfrog legacy enterprise models by adopting an AI first mindset. Rather than simply replicating a software first approach that evolved in other economies. So many Indian enterprises, especially startups and those in emerging sectors, are not burdened by decades of entrenched legacy IT infrastructure that often slows down the AI adoption in more mature markets. This allows them to design new systems and processes with AI at their core from day one. So, as AI first approach means that instead of thinking how can we add AI to our existing software, the question becomes how can AI fundamentally redefine this problem and its solution. So it's a larger question that we have to ask, and this could lead to entirely new business model, hyper personalized services, and significantly more efficient operations that are difficult for legacy systems to match. Think of how UPI revolutionized payments. It was a fundamental new digitally native approach. AI can drive similar paradigm shifts across industries, allowing India to set new benchmarks rather than just catching up with AI.
Having said that, one last question for you, Vikas, is if you had to advise Indian CEOs starting their AI journey today, what is the one mindset shift they must make first?
Okay, so if I have to advise Indian CEOs for their AI journey today, the one critical mindset shift they must make first is to view AI not as a cost center or a technology project, but as a fundamental strategic investment in unlocking entirely new forms of value and competitive advantage. Too often, AI is seen through the lens of incremental efficiency gains or as a cool tech experiments. This leads to pilots that does not scale or initiative that lacks executive buy-in. CEOs need to understand that AI is a transformative force that will reshape their industry, their business, their customer relationship, and their talent needs. So this shift means moving from how can we use AI to cut cost to how can AI enable us to create new products, create new market, or deliver unparalleled customer experiences. So it means fostering a culture of experimentation, embracing data as a strategic asset, and recognizing that the journey will require continuous learning and adaptation at every level of the organization, starting from the top.
Definitely, Vikas. And I think the shift from labor intensive services to AI driven software is already underway with profound implications. AI will not just assist service based industries, but also replace traditional workflows with automated alternatives because now we have agentic AI coming into picture. However, rather than eliminating human roles, AI will redefine them and possibly, work along with them like a co-pilot. And the most successful businesses will combine AI's efficiency with human judgment, creativity, and oversight. Well, thank you so much, Vikas, for your time and effort to be on our podcast today and helping us understand that as AI becomes the core of enterprise technology, Indian businesses that embrace automation will gain a significant competitive edge. And the companies that lead this transformation will define the next era of global technology, one in which AI and human expertise work in tandem to push the boundaries of innovation. Thank you so much, Vikash, for your insights today. It was lovely chatting with you.
It has been a pleasant conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, this is for our listeners. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion around the role of AI in transforming the Indian business landscape and what are certain things that Indian companies should keep in mind while deploying large scale AI initiatives and projects. And of course, how the human role will evolve in the coming years. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes, and you can view all our previous episodes on Spotify and other leading platforms. Thank you so much.